me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is another episode of the Corporate Life Show with Mark Aiden. Today is another episode on the show. Tonight, we are talking about something very important, and it's about you as a person, as an individual, as a group, as a professional, as an entrepreneur. This discussion tonight talks about you and talks about your personal growth and development. So tonight with me, we're talking about hacking your personal development, unlocking growth in this new economy. So the topic is very, very timely, and looking at the situation of things in the country, yes, there is no better time for us to have this discussion rather than now. And it's going to be a delightful one. It's going to be an enlightening one. It's going to be a re-education. A re-education of your mindset, your personality, a rebrand of your memory. Coming together, putting everything together, is just to make sure that you get the best out of the show tonight for what a better version of yourself. And what we're trying to achieve is that at the end of this conversation tonight, you'll become a better version of yourself. So tonight with me, discussing the topic, hacking your personal development and unlocking growth in this new economy. And looking at the new economy, yes, it's tough, but the saying goes this way: tough time never lasts, but tough people do. So, what do you do to get tough and tougher as the economy gets tough? So, that's what we'll be discussing tonight. And with me in the studio is Mr. Benjamin. We'll be discussing this topic with us. So, I'll be inviting him to this to the screen right now so that he can share a little bit about himself and as we go on in the conversation. So, Mr. Benjamin, good evening to you. How are you doing today?
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm doing great. Thank you, Makadin, for having me tonight. I'm so excited to be here. Good evening, everybody, once again.
Yeah, yeah, it's an exciting one for me to have you here, even though we had some technical issues that drag us behind some minutes into the hour of the show. But then we're going to go straight to the point. Having this conversation is very important and very necessary for our audience so that they can benefit from what we are sharing on this platform, and so that they can live a better lifestyle in this present new economy. So thank you very much for being here, Mr. Benjamin. I'm so glad to have
You're
you.
welcome. The pleasure is mine. The pleasure is mine.
All right, so going straight to the point, Mr. Benjamin, tell us a little bit about yourself before we go on. Into the conversation proper.
Okay. Okay. Like you already know, my name is Victor Benjamin. I'm a leadership and human development coach. I teach mainly on growth, personal growth. I believe that everybody has the capacity to grow, but only us can determine how well and how fast we can grow. And that is totally dependent on our habit and the way we think about ourselves. I run an NGO called the You Lead Africa. It's a platform that is aimed at empowering and inspiring young persons to become a better person in the society, especially in Africa, right? So we teach on personal development, human capacity development, leadership. I'm also a tech entrepreneur. I have a tech firm where I help business and provide digital solutions to businesses to help their brand grow. So I have a passion to inspire people, to empower them to become their better self, to realize the best part of themselves and actualize everything that they dream to achieve. So that's just a few things about me.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for introducing yourself proper to the audience tonight. Tonight we want to go straight to the conversation, but before we go straight to the conversation, as usual on the show, we like to start from the point of understanding. Being clear about what the program is all about. So we like to put proper perception. Things into proper perception. So starting with, let's have your definition of what personal development is about?
Okay, so personal development is actually everything that you need to do to activate your God's given potential, right? Like I tell people, every one of us have greatness lying within us, but some people's greatness are sleeping, some are working, some are doing things already, right? So basically, your personal development journey is the journey, the things that you do to ensure that you first identify who you are, the greatness inside of you, and awakening that greatness that is within you. Again, personal development is every action you take to help you to become a better person, right? So everybody is created equal, everybody is born the same, but your habits, your thinking pattern, every action you take, it's what's become a sum total of what
Hmm.
forms who you become in life, right? We were born with a clean slate. There's nobody that was born rich, there's nobody that was born poor. Our action, our influences, our thinking patterns, these are the things that now determine how we end up in life. And this action, this thinking pattern, these influences of our life, and how we navigate through all this is what we call our personal development journey. Hope that's clear.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. I don't understand that. In life, what you do with your time, with your resources, responsibility, and it affects you indirectly or directly. Let's understand what how you describe growth.
Okay, good. So one of the major things I talk about in my platform is growth, right? It's something I love to expand on. And the first thing I tell people about growth is that growth is an internal process with an external outcome, right?
Hmm.
Growth is an internal process with an external outcome. It is what happens within you that produces an outward result, right? So like we know, growth in any form is the ability to move, to develop, to expand, to move, to develop. Let me use the word develop. To develop from one stage, a lower stage, to an higher stage. That's what growth means, right? But I love to tell people that while dealing with the issue of growth, we must first accept that understanding that it is an internal process. Now, what I mean by that is whatever level of growth you want to see externally, there have to first be a process from within that will produce those external results, right? So, for example, people want to grow their finances. Growing your finances is not exactly about getting more money, it's about growing internal value that will help you to attract more money. Do you understand? So if I give you a 5 million naira now as a person, you have not grown financially until I am sure that you have the capacity to use that 5 million naira effectively and be able to reproduce that. So growth is internal, it is not external. You cannot, because sometimes when we talk about growth, we see a lot of persons trying to go after the external things, right? Those are just products. If you don't settle the internal process, you will not be able to get the external products of growth. I hope we're clear on that. Can you hear me?
All right, sorry, pardon me for that. The network is beginning to deal with me here. Talking about growth, I do hope our network provider can go to the level where internally they are doing something meaningful, and externally we, the consumers, can actually enjoy the benefits of their growth, not just
Yes.
raking uh, profits into their pockets, as we've always been saying. Sorry, I just need to quickly make a joke out of the situation. Though it's very painful and a pathetic one indeed for us to be in this part of the world, and then we can't do anything about that, even though you are paying for the services. So thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for that, and it's been a conversation. So going to the conversation itself, we have some list of questions for you to actually tackle tonight for this discussion, and we as possible. With the speed, let's start with question number one. So question one says, how can personal development strategies adopt towards changing demand of the new economy? Understanding that yes, things are fast changing. Lifestyle cannot easily adjust itself to the new era. So what do you think about it? How can personal development strategy adopt to the changing demands of the new economy?
Okay. Personal development, it's consistent, right? Whether there's a new economy or an old economy, the personal development, it's the result, it's consistent, right? In whatever economy. So I think what I'll just say is personal development journey actually prepares you to adapt to the changing economy. Do you understand? So you don't the personal development strategies does not adapt to economy. It prepares you to adapt to the economy. Now what I mean by that is even in this economy, in this part of the world, for those that are joining from Nigeria, I don't know how many other persons are joining from outside of Nigeria. So, but for this part of the world, Nigeria and in Africa, you know, where we are really having a challenging economy, still inside this economy, there are people who are making a lot of money. There are people that in this economy, they are thriving very well. Why? Because they have a value that transcends across whatever economic challenge. In fact, sometimes there are people whose value, right, are even required more, even in difficult economy. Where other persons are talking about an economy being bad, that is where they even thrive more and even make profit. Why? Because they create value. So what personal development helps you to do is that it helps you to both become a person of value and also be a person that produces value. And the result of that is that you will be able to sell that value for a price. The truth is, what people don't know is that real money is not currency. Real money is value, right? Because when we're talking about economy, we're talking about money, we're talking about prosperity, you know, how people can earn more, right? So real money is value. That's the first thing that people should know. If you want to do in any economy, you must have a value that is in demand. And how do you create value? One of the primary steps of becoming a person of value and creating value that can be exchanged for money is for you to invest in your personal development. You cannot give what you don't have, right? You first have to become a person of value through personal development, and then you will not have issues with whatever challenges the economy comes with, because your value will be there to exchange for money and make profit from it.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Because I saw some people on this, on the show with us right now, live with us. Some people are joining us already live, sharing with us their views of on this topic. I can see Adesoji Father, thank you very much for joining us. He's extending his greeting to us on the program. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an interesting one, and we want to continue with the show quickly. What I just got from the guest tonight is that yes, you must continue to be a person of value to be able to get more I mean, to stay more relevant in the in any economy you find yourself. Thank you very much. And you can't give what you don't have. And to have, I mean, to be able to have something to give always, you need to keep up with what personal development. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. Let's go on to the questions we have left. It's been we spend some time here on the show right now, but we need to cover some of the questions we have here. So going to question number two, what roles does continuous learning play in personal development within the context of the new economy? I think what you said earlier on, find a way to answer this question. If you want to have something to do.
Okay. Yes, it does. It does, because it brings us back to the issue of value. How do you become a person of value? You can never become a person of value without continuous learning. Knowledge is one of the things that makes you valuable, because it is knowledge that determines the kind of action that you take. See, especially in this economy that we are in a knowledge economy. We are in a knowledge economy, and only those who have quality knowledge to offer, people who have quality knowledge to offer, are the ones making it from this economy. Now, how do you get quality knowledge? It's through continuous learning. We cannot talk about personal development without talking about the need for every one of us to invest in learning continuously. And in learning, there are three parts in learning. You need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. These three things, that's what constitutes continuous learning. You learn, you unlearn, and you relearn. That is what is going to give you an edge in this economy. Thank you. Are you with me? Makata, are you having network issues again? Okay, I think Mr. Makati is having network issues. I don't know if every other person can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, please.
Okay. You heard everything I said, right?
Yeah, I heard you. Knowledge is key, and our health will give if you don't have knowledge, and knowledge improves your capacity to want to give out there. So you stay relevant with more knowledge you acquire. So thank you very much. Because of our time, yes, I'm having some technical, a little technical issues here. I hope I'm able to deal with that network issue from these network providers. So let's just move on as time permits us to deal with the rest of the question. Yeah, I can get some feedback from some of our audience. Echo. I can also get the echo from my end. I'm not really so sure what's happening, but I'll deal with that as time goes on the show. So quickly, I do hope. Yeah, did you mute yourself now? It's like the echo stopped. I stopped hearing any form of echo.
Yes, I was trying to see if that echo was coming from here.
Okay, it's like the moment you mute yourself, the echo stopped. I don't know why I'm getting that echo. But let's just move on. We hope
you can hear me. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, you said something.
Okay, I was trying to ensure that you can still hear me because I'm unmuted.
Okay, I can hear you actually. I can hear you actually.
Okay, great. We can go ahead.
All right, so let's move on to the next question before our time runs out. The next question is, how can individual, this question is so interesting because in one way or the other, it cuts across your area of specialization. In the sense that you are a tech person, so I'm grading the question now. How can individual leverage digital tools and technology for their personal growth in the new economy?
Okay, how they can. Yes, technology in this age is extremely important. You can hardly do without it right now. Tech and the internet has, in fact, that's what actually brought us into the information, into the knowledge economy, right? Because the internet has given us access to a lot of information, right? Access to a lot of information. So how do we leverage the digital space? We must first understand what this digital space is providing for us. Number one, the digital space is providing us a learning platform. The digital space is now a learning platform. There's basically nothing that you cannot learn online. There's almost no knowledge that you cannot get online, right? You can get a lot of certifications, you can get a lot of trainings online. There are different platforms for learning. We have Udemy, we have several e-learning platforms where you can leverage to get more knowledge for your personal development. As a matter of fact, you can even learn skills, both soft skill and technical skills, from YouTube, from other learning platform. There is no excuses. The digital space have made it easy. Now, the second advantage of the digital space and how we can also leverage it is that the digital space is an archive for credibility, right? It has now become an archive. You must have heard the statement that social media is the new CV, right? You can use your social media as your new CV. Make your social media an archive for your credibility, right? Whatever you're doing, you must put them on social media. Let people now, if you are applying for any job, after interview, most times the interviewers ask for your social media accounts, because they go back there to check what you are doing online, right? So we must understand that the digital space and technology has made it so easy for us to showcase our credibility. So take advantage of that and show people what you are capable of. If people don't know, if you are not visible, visibility and value and visibility, those are two things that will make you fly in the digital space. You have value and then you are visible, you will fly so much. And then another advantage of the digital space is that it has become a place for community building. It is one space where you can connect with people from all over the world. Technology has made the world a global village, right? So you can connect with a lot of people just being in the digital space. You can be here in Nigeria. I know how many persons I've collaborated with outside of this country just because of technology. There was a time I had a program, I had an online event, and I had someone to speak at the same time. We were all speaking at the same time, just as the both of us are speaking now. I was able to connect with someone from South Dakota in the US. I was able to connect with someone from the UK. I was able to connect with someone from Rwanda, right? And then I was doing all that from here, Nigeria. I'm able to collaborate with a lot of persons that has helped me become better. So these are some of the ways, these three ways: learning, taking advantage of learning platforms online, showcasing your credibility, and taking advantage of the communities that social media and the digital space has given us access to connect with people all over the world. So that is ways that we can take advantage of it for our personal development. Network again. Can you hear me? Hope you heard everything I said, Mr. McCarthy. Hello, Makati.
All right, we are back. We are back. So sorry, so sorry. Those are issues. I'm so sorry. It's been it's been a war year. I don't know. I don't know. If Rain should not do his own business because network provider think their their facilities cannot handle the weather or not. I really don't know how to explain that. But then let's just go on straight to the conversation because I know our audience are waiting and they are enjoying this conversation. And for those that will be watching this live session later on, they will also be they will have one or two things to say about this particular conversation tonight. So thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for doing this. And I apologize again for those network issues. Even though I have many of them to switch from to, and we still have these issues. Anyway, moving on straight to the question. Though I was able to hear your point, and they are valid. They are valid points, and yes, we have different platforms today. The technology have different platforms to learn on the go. Private corner, anywhere you have, you can learn and you can actually collaborate also, and you can network. I think those are the things you mentioned. I was able to pick those things, but when it gets to the point where I needed to talk, I just noticed that I was frozen. All right, question number 4. Quickly because of our time is what are the key skills and competencies that an individual should focus on developing to thrive in the new economy, because this economy I think the way you will survive this economy is dependent on the kind of skill you have based on the relevance of that skill in the environment you find yourself. So let's relate this to the Nigerian situation, because most of our audience are Nigerians. So how do you tweet this question?
Okay. If I get you well, the question, the skills, right? The skills that they can acquire. Okay. So talking about there are a lot of, we're talking about personal development, we're talking about acquiring certain soft skills that will be very relevant to our growth. Okay, there are a lot of things we could learn, but let me start by some very, very important internal, something that will help us internally. I think I'll talk about self-leadership. One of the things we need is self-leadership. I've taught this over and over again as one of the very important ingredients for your growth. If you are going to grow, you must learn to be a self-leader. You must learn to control your influences, right? Self-leadership is simply the ability for you to influence or be in control of your self-influences, be in control of the things that influences you, right? And when we talk about self-influences, when we talk about self-leadership, right, there are 3 major areas of self-leadership that you must take note of. Number 1 is self-awareness, right? You must first of all be aware of what you have within. You must be aware of your uniqueness. Everybody is created to be great, but everybody we're not created in the same pattern, right? We have different giftings, we have different abilities. You must be able to understand what triggers you. You must be able to understand what atmosphere you are easy to learn from. Just understand yourself. Those are part of self-leadership. So self-awareness, confidence, self-confidence. You must build self-confidence. There's something one of my mentors told me that I've been one of the things I've been riding on to become a better person is that always the bold and confident will always win over the smart and intelligent. The bold and confident will always win, always win over the smart and intelligent.
Okay,
the people who are doing a lot of
it seems we've lost Miss Benjamin there. The network is shifting. The network
I'm
fluctuation
here,
is
I'll be
shifting.
speaking. Can't
It
you
has
hear me?
shifted away from my point of my point of location. So it's Mr. Benjamin that is now receiving his own portion of the network glitches. I do hope he recovers quickly, as I'm able to recover from the network challenge we have here. The rain is very, very it's
I
dropping
can
heavily
actually hear you
over here at
clearly.
home, from your own hand, but then this may have affected the weather condition and affecting the stability of the network receptions from its end to, just as I've had in some few minutes past. So the question is what are the key skills and competencies that individuals should focus on developing towards to thrive in the new economy. And one of the things he just said is that you should develop the mindset of self-leadership. Self-leadership. As we were speaking about that, I was wondering, I was also ruminating on what did he mean by self-leadership? What did he mean by self-leadership? I hope Mr. Benjamin is back.
What did he mean
Mr.
by
Benjamin, can you hear me, please?
Is back, please? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me?
Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me? I can hear you loud.
Okay, while we're waiting for him to return back to the studio, in a few minutes' time, we'll be wrapping up the conversation. We just have about 4 questions to go. I do hope we're able to restore the network from he's able to restore his network from his end over there quickly so that he can join us so that we can wrap up the conversation. It's been a wonderful time of conversing here on the show. If you have any point, any observation, anything you want to share with us concerning this show tonight, please drop a comment in the comment section. Let's get to know you. Let's get to know what you are saying concerning the topic of the conversation tonight. And then I can really bring us up to what on the screen, if possible, you can bring us up on the screen to hear from us what we have to say. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a conversation. Remember, the topic tonight is hacking your personal development, unlocking growth in the new economy, unlocking your growth in the new economy. And the question we're currently tweeting is talking about what area of skills, because we now live in an economy where skill development is so important to your level of success, to your level of achievement, and your level of relevance, which is indirectly proportional to the value you have to give to the society where you find yourself. So one way or the other, you must be ready to give value. And Mr. Benjamin is back to conclude that aspect of the question. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me, please? Okay, Mr. Benjamin, we lost you for some minutes.
Okay, so but can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, go ahead, please. Okay. So at what point did you stop hearing? Because I could hear you all through while you were speaking. I was speaking. I just know why you couldn't hear you.
Okay. Probably
Are you
the
there?
network you out. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Now, I think Mr. Benjamin is having issues with his network over there. I don't know how we're going to do this tonight, but then the next question will have been to emphasize more on the question number 4. Mr. Benjamin, are you back? Can you hear me, please?
So, can you hear me, please? I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, can you quickly wrap up your what?
Okay, can you quickly wrap up your
question number 4?
Your thoughts about question number 4. Okay, yes. So I was talking about self-leadership and I was talking about communication skills, right? In this generation, you need to learn how to speak effectively. It's not enough for you to just have good ideas. Can you communicate that ideas effectively? Trust me, if you're in a room of people who were to sponsor you, it is not just the person with the best ideas that will get the sponsorship. Ideas that is going to get that sponsorship. So you must ensure that when you get into a room where you can get people that can help you, that you are able to communicate with them, communicate value. So communication skills is very important. Networking skills, I talked about that earlier. You must learn to network. You can't be a shy person and say you, no matter how shy you think you are, you must learn networking skills. You must be able to make good friends. You must be able to network.
Mm, Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me, please? Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?
Skill, it's going to
Hello,
help
are you
you.
there? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I've been talking. Can't you hear me?
Okay, for some seconds, I think I lost you.
Hello?
I lost you for some seconds. Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me?
Oh,
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Okay, so I talked about self-leadership. I talked about communication. I hope you heard that. Communication
Yeah.
skills, right? Yeah. I talked about networking skills, right? And I also talked about getting a tech skill. I hope that was clear.
Okay.
That's number 4. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. You've heard from Mr. Benjamin.
All
Get a
right,
tech
thank you
skill,
very
get a
much.
communication skill, get a leadership skill, get a networking
On
skill.
leadership skill,
And one thing about
getting
networking that I must say, for emphasis sake, is that it is
network
the
is
real
key.
deal. No matter all these skills you have, if you don't know how to what leverage on the network of people you have, it's as though you are a bank with so much money and still poor
Is that
of, I don't know, poor of
the
facilities,
people you have?
necessary
People
facility to keep the what the environment. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. Let's quickly move on to question number 5 as we draw near to the end of the conversation tonight. How do networking, because we just mentioned networking, how do networking and building professional relationships contribute to personal development in the new economy? Yeah, that is over to you. Mr. Benjamin, are you there? I don't seem to be connected with Mr. Benjamin right now. Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me, please?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, the question is how both
Okay,
us
the
in
question is
in the
how
point
both
was
us
for question number 4.
was
How
for
do networking
question
and
number 4.
building
How do networking and
professional
building
relationship
professional
contribute to personal development in the new economy?
relation economy? Okay, I could read the question on the screen, so I understand what you're saying now. So yeah, you remember I said it in the previous question. Among the skills that is compulsory for you,
I can no longer hear you. Can you hear me, please? Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me, please? The network is really not fine for us today, but then we've been managing and we've been discussing how can your personal development unlocking growth in a new economy. Why is it so important that we have to bring Mr. Benjamin from his plan? We draw him out from his plan to have this conversation with us. He's a personal development coach. He talks about so many things on
so many things
growth, and
on
we've been
growth,
discussing
and
this
we've been
discussion
discussing
with
this
him tonight. I mean, we've been
discussion
having this discussion
with
on
him
this
tonight,
topic
and we've been having this
with him
discussion on
tonight,
this
and he's
topic
been helping us
with
what
him
find
tonight, and he's
shape,
been helping
I
us
mean, fine
with
tune
find
our
shape.
actions based on the point we've raised so far. So coming back to you, we lost you for some seconds, and I needed to what quickly refresh the memory of our audience on the
refresh the memory of
discussion, which
audience on the
the
discussion.
area of our conversation tonight is on
What
the
would the
hacking
area
your
of our
personal
conversation
development,
tonight is on the
unlocking
hacking your
growth
personal
in the new
development,
economy.
unlocking
So the question number
growth
5
in
here
the
is
new
still stating, how do networking and building personal and professional relationship contribute to the personal development in the new economy? Please, let me just allow you to quickly answer that question before we move on to the next question.
before we move on to the next question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Please go ahead. Okay, so where did you hear me answer the question completely?
No, I didn't hear you answer the question at all.
No. Oh, okay, you didn't hear me. So I was emphasizing on the need for networking. Networking is very important. Networking will help you go far in life. The people you know will determine the kind of information that you get, the kind of information that you get, and the kind of information and the kind of information you get will determine how far you can go in life. There are certain opportunities. There are certain opportunities that you cannot get that are not open publicly. It will take the right network of people for you to know that there is a vacancy there, right? There are certain business opportunities that you will never get. See, networking, if you want to go find life, networking can fast track your growth. Networking can fast track your growth. Things that you were supposed to just get by learning and acquiring knowledge, a simple information from the right network can bring it very fast to you. So we cannot overemphasize the need of networking. So networking is very, very important. Again, remember the quote that said,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Networking is very key to your personal development, and what you would have gone. You would have invested so much towards acquire the right set of network. You will just at the fingertip get access to such valuable information. Quickly, question number 6 is on the strategies that can help individuals to stay motivated and resilient in the face of economic uncertainty in the new economy, because the old thing is just looking like no one is sure of what is coming next. The government is unpredictable because they themselves don't seem to understand what is really going on. So the question is coming to us on what strategies would you deploy, or as an individual will you encourage us to adopt and stay motivated and resilient in the face of the economic uncertainty?
Okay, one of the things you must do is that you must learn to be the controller of your mind. Right? Don't allow external. Be careful what you accept. Be careful what you focus your mind on. Right? Don't allow external things to influence your mind. Your mind is your greatest asset. Your mind is your greatest asset. Right? You must learn to believe. Most of the time when we talk about, when we tell people about maintaining good belief, thinking positively.
Benjamin, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you. I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me?
Loud and
the last
clear.
thing I heard you say was be the controller of your mind.
Okay, but can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, because I've been speaking and I could hear you clearly. Okay, so be the controller of your mind, right? Don't allow external things to influence your mind negatively. Ensure you think positively at all times, even in the face of challenges. That is very important, right? But how do you do that? Stay focused on your goal. Stay focused on your goal. See, there is always going to be challenge. The journey of personal development is not an easy one. There are going to be challenges. You are going to be faced with different challenges. But stay focused. problems. Focus on solution. Problem you focus on focus on solution. Get or the things that to become a better person and things that being the better you. So that's it.
Solving problems. So thank you very much. Quickly moving on to the next question. What are the potential challenges and the opportunities for personal development in the new economy? I mean, in a remote environment. Sorry, pardon me.
Okay. I'm just going to answer that question like this. What is the possible challenge? You will be your biggest challenge, right? You will be your biggest limitation. I believe that only me can be the limitation of my progress, right? So that is why I started talking about focusing on your goals, focus on possibilities. We can go ahead to start itemizing different challenges, network challenges. Here in Nigeria, we have several challenges. We have a challenge with power. We have limitations with the source of power. We have limitations with a network. We have limitations with the kind of. There are several, but in all of it, you and only you can be your greatest limitation. Now, what that means that if you choose to focus on whatever it is that limits you, you can never grow. So you must decide not to be the one to limit yourself. It is what you believe. Even in this economy, in this part of the world where we have issue with power, we have issue with data, we have issue with a lot of things in our economy. There are still people who are thriving from here to the world, right? So no matter the challenges, we can be better. Don't allow anything to limit you. I hope that's clear.
All right. No matter the challenges, you have the power of what? Overcoming such challenges. So that is why it is important for you to stay focused and keep up your head focused on the what the goal. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for that encouragement. We're going on to the last question for the show tonight. The question is telling us how can you provide examples of, can you provide examples of successful individuals who live effectively unlocked personal growth in the new economy, and what lessons can we learn from them?
Of course, there are a number of people. There are people around us. There are some I could mention. You probably wouldn't know them. There are those in the internet that we know. There are people around us, that are thriving, that are doing very well, right? Let's take example in the entertainment and the comedy, industry. We have people who, through simple ideas. I was listening to Sabinus. A lot of us know Sabinus, the funny guy. It's going global now. He has become so big, but he started it when he started. Okay, let me just use him as an example. I was listening to his story recently, and he keeps saying it till now that what does he use to produce his videos? Just phone. He doesn't use any sophisticated gadgets, but just with his phone and with very creative content, he's able to reach out to millions of audience, millions of followers. Now, one of the things that we can learn from someone like that, and many of them, is consistency. Now, this guy started a long time ago. himself and a few other person in the entertainment space. I'm talking about Sabinus now. That's one example that a lot of us would know. It started a long time ago. He has probably done a lot of skits, but he did not become popular from the very first video that he did. It took consistency and creativity, right? I listened to him while he was speaking out. I think that was SM Fest in Owerri, and I was talking about the story, how it all started, just with a phone in a local environment, right? So one of the things we can learn from such people is consistency. Whatever you do, make sure you are consistent. Another thing we must also learn is to be innovative. You see, I don't know if you know of the Ikorodu boys. These are some persons on the internet that are thriving. Ikorodu boys, they are beginning to gain a global audience. What do? They just remix trailers, and they do it in a very creative way. They did not even have to spend a lot of money in creating those trailers. You see them using cartons, using tanks, things that seem not to be of value. They use it, they create trailers, and people from all over the world is amazed how they are able to recreate trailers. If you know Ikorodu boys, you can check them out on Instagram for those of you that don't know them. I've talked about, there are a lot of people. We have John Obidi. John Obidi came out from Benin, schooled in Benin, went to Lagos. He was pushing, now he's a global phenomenon. He's a public speaker, speaking all over the world, right? He's not even in Nigeria. In his 9th school, a lot of people are there. We'll be having him in Benin again very soon to come and speak at the conference, and he'll be traveling from outside the country. There are a lot of examples. What about those that created the piggy vest? A lot and a lot and a lot. We can't count. But some of the things that we can learn from these persons, from their stories, is consistency and innovation. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, so sorry. I'm so excited. I was so excited about the people you mentioned, Sabino, the boys, John, John Obidi, and the lives of others. Yes, talking about consistency. Yes, I want to add to this that you don't give up because you're not getting results yet. Because your result is not the same thing. Your process is not going to be the same thing for like the way it came for Sabino. It may not come for you that way. So your goals are different. So your process will be different, and then your outcome will also be different. So keep doing it, and then keep doing it better. That is where the innovations spirit comes up. I picked this point from a book I read some time ago, some years back. They said, I think the book is on how to fire your boss. How to fire your boss. It was talking about starting a business. So when you start a business, you fail at the business. You don't quit the business. So what you can do is you can renovate the idea of the business. That is, change your product. So change your style also in anything you are doing, any endeavor you are doing. And I'm also glad to share with you that this month, exactly this month, is 1 year anniversary at Corporate Life Show. And over the years, over the months that we've been on Corporate Life Show, we've been able to sustain the show for every week consistently. Like we come live every week. People ask me, well, how am I able to do this? What am I getting in return for doing this? Why am I doing this program for free? Bringing guests, different guests into the studio to discuss about matters that borders on life experiences and personal experiences of people that give you solution to what the problem you are facing. And people ask this question, and I think it's just a matter of time where people we recognize this brand as something to not work with, and then they'll be able to leverage on the content you are sharing. So consistency is very important, and don't give up. I would have given up on the network challenges I'm facing and the lives, at the point I had to get like 4 different networks. I have their router, their switches, their device, just to combat the challenges I'm facing. And today I have a team of people working with me at Corporate Life Show, and it's so funny. Even with that, we still have a lot of challenges to what to get to resolve so that we can give the best on this show, because it's actually intent to
Yeah.
what to get our audience the best. So thank you very much for that work, consistency, and being innovative. And I hope my team members are also listening, and they are listening right now. Let's also be innovative and let's be consistent with what we're doing. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. All
You're
right,
welcome.
it's
You're
been a
welcome.
conversation, and then before Mr. Benjamin is allowed to to go from the show tonight, let's have the last word. Mr. Benjamin, any closing remark for us on the show tonight?
Okay. Yeah, one thing I always say in everything I post is that every one of us is designed to grow. Every one of us has the capacity to grow, but it's only us that can determine how well and how fast we can grow. How far you can grow in life is determined on your actions, right? So we must learn to create habits that help us to grow. And we've said a lot of things today. We need to start cultivating this. We need to be committed to continuous learning. We need to be very committed to continuous learning. We need to learn how to network, to be in the right space at the right time. You know, people and events are very important, right? People, place, and event. These three things, take advantage of them. People, place, and event. They can change your life. That's networking, right? Network with the right set of people. Expose yourself to the right things, right? Go to conferences, travel to places, get to see new things. Just expand your mind. Your mind is the greatest asset. Feed it with the right information that it needs, and you will be wowed at the result that your life can produce. Let's stay committed to our personal development. Thank you so much.
All right, stay committed to your personal development. That's word from that word, and people please, and those are words that you want to take out from this conversation tonight. And I'm so glad we are doing this with Mr. Benjamin, who has taught us so much on the conversation tonight. Remember, this is Corporate Life with Mark Aiden, and I'm so glad we're able to do this again. We are celebrating 1 year anniversary, and just wait till the end of the month. We'll be coming out uniquely in different styles that you've never seen us before. Just wait and see. And we don't promise and we don't promise so that we won't fail you. We only promise we know we are sure that we are coming out to give you great surprises from us at Corporate Life Show with Mark. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for doing this tonight with us. It's been a conversation indeed, and it's been an enlightening one. And I do hope that those that will be joining us, those that will be watching this episode live and direct, those that will be watching the recorded version of this episode, we have reasons to watch, drop comments, and we would like to actually get feedback from them. So thank you very much for doing this with us. Remember, this is Corporate Life Show with Mark Aiden. I'm so glad, I'm so happy to have on the show with me tonight, Mr. Benjamin, who did so well in tackling all those questions, who did so well in explaining those things to us, who did so well in ensuring that we get the best from tonight's show. But then, as we go on, I just want to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Benjamin. Thank you very much. Thank you. A very big thank you to you. Have a great night, everyone. And sorry if you drop a comment and we're not able to respond to that. Just know that it's due to the network issues. But then we're so glad you're able to join us tonight. And if you're watching the recorded version, please drop a comment also. And God bless you as you do so. Remember, this is Couple Live with Macadam. Every Friday evening by 7 p.m., we do this. We bring in guests to discuss with us important topic, impactful topics, a learning topic for our own development. Have a wonderful night, and bye-bye from here.